Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gregory Bovid, and on behalf of the entire Midland Concert Band, welcome to our Christmas holiday performance. You can't imagine how good it feels to say that. It is so good to be here with you today. You know, as many of you know, the band kicked off our 46th concert season with an outdoor performance in Central Park back on October 31st. It was a Halloween concert. But it has been nearly a year and 9 months since we last met in this wonderful concert venue. And I can't think of a better time of year to renew this friendship that we share than this most wonderful time of the year. Impossible as it may seem, 27 days from today is Christmas Day. Now, I just love this time of year, the season of Advent, when we go about making our preparations for the Christmas season. Certainly the colored lights, the hustle and the bustle, the anticipation, and even that snow that's coming down out there today, all these things add to that holiday atmosphere. But what really gets me in the holiday spirit is the music, the sounds of Christmas, and that's why we're all here today. We're so happy you joined us this afternoon to help us stir up some old memories from Christmases past. We'll boost the holiday spirit for the Christmas present, and most of all, we're going to take another step along that long road that's leading towards something resembling normalcy. Now, talking about normalcy, we had a few changes in our program from the time that these screens that you will see are made up, so it isn't going to exactly follow that concert order you see up there, but it'll be close, and you'll figure out what's going on. If you were here a little early, you probably heard just trombones playing in the lobby, and that's such a great warm-up for our holiday program, which, in addition to the full band today, features our MCTV Flute section and the Touch of Brass Quintet. And of course, it would never be a Christmas party without a visit from a certain very jolly guest, if you know what I mean. Now, as we begin our Yuletide celebration, would you please join me in welcoming to the stage the guy who puts the nog in eggnog and the sigh in silent night, the jolly young director of the Midland Concert Band, Mr. Joel Wiseman. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, would you please rise and join in singing our national anthem? Surely Christmas is one of the greatest and most joyous of all holidays, and indeed, who of us hasn't thrilled to the sound of Christmas bells, whether that's from the steeple or the stage, pealing out the joy of this blessed season? Well, we're going to kick off this party with 3 pieces that focus on the bells of Christmas, but in 3 very different settings. Now, you know, we always say that a concert is just not a concert without at least one Sousa march. And as we've mentioned in years past, this is a problem because old John Phillip didn't write any Christmas marches. However, Robert W. Smith has given us the next best thing by taking two famous melodies, Jingle Bells and The Stars and Stripes Forever, and he stirred them together like some kind of a Christmas pudding and cooked up our opening selection, Jingle Bells Forever. Now, following that march, we're going to perform a Chip Davis Mannheim Steamroller arrangement of Carol of the Bells. It's an old Ukrainian carol known as Shedrik, which in Ukrainian, probably not the right pronunciation exactly, but Shedrik translates as bountiful evening. It tells the story of a swallow that flies into a household to sing of the wealth that will come with the following spring. The melody for Shedrik was adapted as the Christmas carol, Carol of the Bells, by Peter Wilhowsky back in 1936. And Wilhowsky was influenced by the culture of his Eastern European parents and the traditional Christian story of all the bells on earth ringing out of their own accord at the birth of Jesus. Our third selection in this bell theme was written by Percy Faith, one of the most popular, easy listening recording artists of the 50s and 60s. Faith joined Columbia Records as musical director and a recording artist in 1950. He arranged pop songs as well as show tunes, folk songs, and he became a pioneer of easy listening mood music with many of his own albums. He was also one of the first mainstream composers to experiment with Latin rhythms, and one of those experiments resulted in our third selection for today. Get ready for a little Latin holiday cheer when the band performs Brazilian Sleigh Bells. with apologies to all of my woodwind playing friends. I must say I've always been a fan of music by brass bands, especially during the holiday season. One of my fondest and earliest memories of Christmases past is walking downtown with my parents while Christmas shopping and hearing a local brass band group playing carols for the shoppers. Among my favorite CDs this time of the year are recordings by the Empire Brass and the Canadian Brass and other groups of that type. There's just something about the voices of trumpets, horns, trombones, and tubas joining together to sing out the melodies that says Christmas to me. Of course, hearing the music at a live performance always adds to the overall musical experience, and today it is our pleasure to bring you just such an experience as we feature the Touch of Brass Quintet. The group was originally formed in 1980 and plays a wide range of music for many different occasions. Current members include Rick Enzer, Gay Terwilliger, Rich Harner, Stan Rowe, and Dave Selly, and they are going to perform 4 pieces for us this afternoon, which by a happy coincidence, these tunes just seem to continue our theme of Christmas bells. They will perform for you I Saw 3 Ships, Ding Dong Merrily on High, Silver Bells, and Jingle Bells. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Touch of Brass Quintet.
You're forgetting something. It's right down here. It says, thank our wonderful announcer for 25 years of service to the band. For 25 years, you have been the voice of the Midland Concert Band. You have done so many things for this band, not only on the podium here in front of our audience, but for the band as a whole during our rehearsals, the setup, the planning, those little things that I miss every single concert that you catch me on and you help me with. You have been a tremendous asset to this band, and we can't thank you enough. So thank you for 25 years.
Since you got a microphone.
You bet. So we did want to say thank you in a way that we thought you'd enjoy. So we decided the best way would be a gift certificate for the Midland Center for the Arts, because we know you love not only serving this band, but you love all of the shows that go on here at the center, and we thought this would be a wonderful way to say thank you. So
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you, guys. And thank you to the entire band, and actually thank you to the audience too, because I've been doing this for quite a while. This is my 26th season. It's been 25 years I've completed. This is the 26th season I've been able to announce for this band, and so if some of the jokes sound familiar, thank you very much.
It is absolutely wonderful to be standing here on this stage. Our first time up on the stage for rehearsal, I remember standing right here and looking out, and the feeling of being back was really neat. Now, some things have changed. There's going to be some things that are feeling different. You already noticed one at the door, the change in how we did tickets for this concert. We decided on that because we felt it was the best way to protect your time and your commitments with all of the changing things in this world. But some things haven't changed, and these wonderful musicians behind me, it's one of the things that I was really excited to come back to. This wonderful center with the wonderful ushers and the wonderful people here, all the smiling faces. It was wonderful. Now, said smiling faces, I've seen a couple, but I'm grateful to say I don't see any out here right now. So thank you, that's another change. The Touch of Brass Quintet that you just heard, wonderful group. Have a little bit of an awesome personal connection with that group. They actually were able to bless my wife and I with a wedding present 5 years ago on the 26th. 5 years ago, they were able to perform for us for our wedding. So neat to hear them out here playing some wonderful holiday music today. We're grateful for all these things, but there's one tradition that we're not guaranteed, but I'm hopeful for, and that's a visit from a really special friend up north. Now, every year that we've had holiday concerts, I'm saying that because there was a really weird year in there that we're just not going to talk about. But every year that we've been able to have holiday concerts, we have this little tradition where the band has been able to coax Santa down from the North Pole. Now, we did the best we could. We sent letters. We were just really hopeful that he could come and visit. But there's one kind of little magical catch. There's always this tune that we've been able to play to kind of signal his way in so that he doesn't get lost. So we're going to try that. And I want you to keep your fingers crossed with us, because if this goes well, if this goes as planned, we might be able to signal his way to come and visit us. So we're gonna give this a try. All right? So keep your fingers crossed with me.
Santa.
Little Joel. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it's been almost 2 years.
2 years. Wow. It's good to see you.
It's you in the flesh.
It is. It's you.
Oh my.
I'm amazed to see you.
And look at all of those wonderful, oh my goodness, people in the audience. Oh, with little flashers. Oh my. It's so great to be here. So what have you been up to?
Well, wearing masks, staying home, not doing a whole lot. It's good to be back.
There I was flying in my sleigh, and I heard incredible, not serious radio, but live music. Isn't this a phenomenal ensemble? Let's give them a big hand. Oh my. Oh, so what's in your plans today?
Well, Santa, we've been doing some awesome things, but I do have a question to ask you.
Yes.
Because there's this book that I absolutely loved growing up. Twas the Night Before Christmas. You've heard of that one?
Oh my goodness gracious, absolutely.
So it's a common one. A lot of people have heard of it, and it's one of my favorites. But I've always wanted to hear that book read to me by Santa. You see, read-alouds are so important. Kids in school love being read to. Kids at home love being read to. I think we'd all enjoy if you'd be willing to read the narration for that book along with some music for us. Would you do that?
I would be delighted to.
Thank you, Santa. So I'm excited. So you guys are in for a treat. This is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas with narration by Santa.
Now, little Joel, don't trip on my bells.
All right, Santa.
"'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled, all snug in their beds. While visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and Papa in his cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh with 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. In a twinkle, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot. And his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just unpacking his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed. Like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. And I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all." And to all a good night. Oh my goodness gracious. That was so much fun.
It was. Oh, I had a great time.
But Joel, there were only 8 reindeer in here.
Oh,
I think this book was written in 1947. I think Rudolph wasn't born until 1951.
oh,
Oh my. You know, I miss that little guy.
oh.
This is a mighty exuberant audience.
It is.
Do you think maybe they might know that song?
I bet they do.
Let me set this down. Now, this is a sing-along. You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all?
What? Oh.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, "Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, "Oh, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history." Let's give little Rudy a big hand. Well, little Joe, I am so excited. Oh, I'm looking so forward to seeing you out in the lobby. Enjoy the rest of the concert, and we'll see you soon. Keep up the good work. I'm loving it. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
This afternoon, we are going to put the spotlight on our awesome flute section with a little assistance from Mr. Dave Latendresse as they perform 2 Christmas favorites. You know, while they're getting set up, it's worth remembering that in 17th century England, Oliver Cromwell and the Puritans officially outlawed all festivals, and that included the ancient Yuletide celebrations that were so loved by the people. With the dawn of the Victorian era, nearly 200 years later, the ancient traditions of Christmas were rediscovered, and much to the delight of the English people, the Victorians searched throughout Europe to find old carols transporting them across borders and language barriers. Many of those carols became embedded in the so-called modern Christmas tradition, and they are still enjoyed to this day. Now, one such carol is Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella. It originated from the Provence region of France in the 17th century. And the carol was first published in French, and subsequently translated into English in the 18th century. It's interesting that this song was not meant to be sung at Christmas, but it was considered dance music for the French nobility. Jeanette and Isabella in the song are two female farmhands who have found the baby Jesus and his mother in a stable, and excited by that discovery, they run to a nearby village to tell the inhabitants. Another traditional carol, Pat a Pan, also has French origins, but it's from the Burgundy region. The title, Pat a Pan, is actually a nonsense word meant to sound like the beating of the drum as described in the carol's first verse. Willie, take your little drum, Robin, take your flute, and come. When we hear the music gay, tooraloo, pat a pan, Noel, Noel, we say. Ladies and gentlemen, the MCB Flute Ensemble with Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella, and Pat a Pan. As usual, before we get to our final selection, we have a little business to take care of. And you can't believe how good it feels to say that once again. First of all, on behalf of the entire band, we want to thank each and every one of you for coming out to join us this afternoon. We hope that you have enjoyed today's Christmas celebration and that, at least in some small way, we have added to your enjoyment of this most wonderful time of the year. I say this after every concert, but it is ever so true, especially at this holiday time, and even more so after being on hiatus for a year and a half. You, the audience, is what makes these shows so much fun, and today, in the spirit of that wonderful season we're in, we again have had much more fun than our share. Special thanks are in order this afternoon to Santa for stopping by to officially kick off the holiday season. Thanks also to Just Trombones for their pre-concert music and to our flute section. Also to the Touch of Brass Quintet for their parts in today's performances. Last but certainly not least, we can't forget our ushers, our stage crew here at the Center for the Arts, and all those others who work behind the scenes to make these shows possible. Thanks as well to the crew from MCTV for their fine work recording, producing, and broadcasting our performances. If you know of any Midland County High School band students, grades 9 through 11, that might be interested in applying for an MCB Scholarship Award, please encourage them to check with their school band director. Information regarding this annual program will be available on our website. I believe it will be early next year, but I'll plant that seed now. I would love to give you dates for our upcoming performances, but as of today, we don't have any. We don't know when they will be, let's put it that way. The band is dealing with challenges resulting from the pandemic as best we can. We are feeling very fortunate to have performed 2 concerts this season. Not all community groups have been so blessed. As soon as we know the schedule, we will get the word out through our Facebook page, have it out on our website. We'll be sharing it on social media. So until we meet again, here's wishing you a very happy and blessed Christmas and much joy in the new year. Now, back in 1950, Leroy Anderson wrote our next selection, A Christmas Festival. And since that time, many other composers have also arranged Christmas music for band or orchestra. And even though there are many more arrangements out there that are recent and readily available, Anderson's work continues to be a holiday favorite. We hope you will enjoy this classic arrangement of 8 seasonal melodies for the band. They include Joy to the World, Deck the Halls, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Good King Wenceslas, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Silent Night, Jingle Bells, and O Come All Ye Faithful. Once again, good afternoon and Merry Christmas.
Now, what would a holiday concert be without one more special tune? An amazing tradition with this band, an amazing tradition with a lot of bands, Sleigh Ride, ironically written in the heat of summer, but of the memory of awesome winter things, such as a sleigh with bells. So I hope you have wonderful holidays. I hope you have a safe time, an amazing time with family. Thank you for your support, your not only being here, but in many cases, your financial support towards this band, your support of telling others who might want to play music and letting them know that there's an opportunity for a musical outlet. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoy our last piece. Thank you.